All right, this weekend, pretty active weekend in sports. I mean, as you always have, of course, the Phillies when they play a Phillies weekend series. But you also have, a major golf event with the PGA. You've got a heavyweight championship boxing fight between Tyson Fury and the other guy. I still don't know what his name is, but the other guy. You got the NBA and NHL playoffs, which will include a Game 7 between Minnesota and Denver. Of course, you also got Game 6 tonight, I believe it is, with the Knicks series. And the 50th anniversary of the Flyers winning the Stanley Cup. And that 50th anniversary will be Sunday. So a lot of good stuff going on in the sports scene. And obviously it should be a pretty robust weekend from that standpoint. All right, let's talk to our next guest. Aaron Nola has really turned in a tremendous career with the Phillies. He's got a great charity initiative going on. Also a super cool experiential that you can get involved in bidding on. Part of the Phillies' tremendous efforts with the fantastic auction, which benefits the fight against ALS and also Phillies charities. He really is, in that last start, a complete game shutout. He really is, I think it's the first time we can say it, one of the Phillies' 3 aces. Imagine that. Not 1, not 2, but with Rangers, what he's doing this year, 1 of 3. Look, Aaron Nola is obviously one of the best pitchers in the National League, and he joins us right now. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Our pleasure, Aaron. Aaron, congrats on obviously what's been a great start to the season, both for you and the team. It's got to feel great for you.
Yeah, it's been a fun year so far, guys. It really has been. We have obviously about the same team as we did last year, and I just feel like we're closer than we were last year as a group, and that helps out a lot. And we're playing good baseball right now, so hopefully we can keep it up. And I think we're playing good all around. So offensive side, defensive side, the pitching side. So it's just been a enjoyable and fun year so far.
Aaron, first time I've heard someone say that. Now, maybe it had been said and I missed it. Closer as a group. Almost the same group, obviously a few additions. Why, in your opinion? What has led to additional closeness from a friendship standpoint?
I just think we're obviously around each other every single day, right? These guys this is our second family, so I feel like sometimes we're around each other even more than our actual families.
Sure.
But we play with each other for, some of us past 3 years, some of us past 4 or 5 years, and having this pretty much the same group of guys and same team, same lineup, it just makes it easier to come to the field every day and be around each other. We know how each other play. We know how each other are off the field in the clubhouse. So it just makes it that much better for us when we step on the field. Like I said, the same lineup as last year, pretty much. Same staff, pretty much as last year. So I feel like that's kind of rare in today's game.
Very much so. You're right.
I know we made it to the World Series in 22. Brought the similar team back with a couple additions and a couple guys leaving for free agency and going to other teams, and then getting back to the CS last year, and then having really the same team as last year makes it a lot better. So I think that's helped us out a lot so far.
Aaron, I'll say this, from our standpoint, it looks like you guys are super close. I mean, we see the way you celebrate together, the way you guys exist together. It looks like you're real close. Aaron, different year from a regular season standpoint with you guys as a front runner, first place, new territory for you here in mid-May. What's the first place experience like for you?
I just feel like, obviously, but first for me this early in my career with Philadelphia, I don't think it feels really any different than it has. I just feel like we're honestly taking it game by game, and we're just going out and trying to play our best baseball right now. And
isn't there some
win one game every day? So it's not really any talk. We're in first place, this and that. We know what our goal is. We know where we want to get to, which is obviously first to win a division, but second to get back to the World Series. So, there's a lot of baseball left, and everybody in that clubhouse knows that. First place, obviously, in my career here, we've been first and then got knocked out at first. Certain times of the year, we've caught up as first when we weren't in first, and then we got knocked out again. So there's a lot of baseball left. We got a lot of good teams coming up that we still need to play, and we just got to take it one game at a time and keep playing our best baseball and just try to keep everybody healthy. I think that's the biggest part of us making another run. We got to keep everybody healthy again, and can get a couple guys back. I think Trey hopefully will come back. Will be back soon from his little hamstring injury. But other than that, outside of those guys, our depth is a lot stronger than it has been past years, and I think that's why we really are still playing good baseball every night, even without the regular starting guys. So to me, that's what makes really good teams is obviously having a good team, good players, but having good depthy players. I see that for years with the Braves. They always had guys off the bench that were really good, that were solid players that would come in and play, and they were just natural. So to me, we got that now.
Aaron, how happy are you with where you are in mastering the pitch clock? It just feels like such a huge difference this last year to this year.
I was a work in progress, guys. That's for sure.
Well, I was going to follow that up with how happy are you with where you are in mastering the pitch clock with men on base, and how different is that too?
Yeah, it was definitely tough for me last year. It took me a while. I mean, as you guys probably know, I'm not the fastest to home plate, and I hadn't really had a slide step since 2017. And after that year, I really told myself I'm just going to hold the ball and pick off and vary my times to keep that guy close to give my catcher a chance to throw him out when he does steal. And then last year came, couldn't do that anymore. So I had a lot of guys stealing off of me, and I wasn't able to give JT much of a chance as I was used to, as what he was used to. So I had to bring back the slide step and try to get used to that again. And I think going into spring training this year, having gone through a year with the pitch clock, it definitely helped me out.
Right.
Being able to experience all things with that clock, getting rocked, backing up bases, covering first base multiple times in a row, having quick innings, just all the stuff like that. Like, for me, it didn't matter really how different I trained my body to sustain the pitch clock. I had to get in the situations during the game to be able to cope with it. So,
yeah, sure. You had to experience it.
Yeah, I had to
learn how to experience it.
For sure. So right now, I feel really good with it. Obviously, there's some times that are quick that obviously wish weren't as quick, but overall, I feel a lot better with it this year.
Yeah, I've never been privileged enough to be a part of a baseball team. Is there more of a bond with the other starting pitchers between Aaron Nola and the other starters, or is it all the pitchers, the relievers all hang out? Is there like a pitchers night, come one and come all? How often do you guys go out and hang together? And do you notice that this team hangs more than previous teams, and it's translating to a tightness of play on the field?
Yeah, I think so. I think this team is a lot different than any other team I've been on, just because, one, we're mainly a veteran team, right? We have a lot of guys that have been around for a little bit. Also, we have some young guys, but we got pretty much everybody but a couple guys that are married with kids. It's definitely a veteran group.
Yeah.
But so we all have, obviously, we all have a lot of that in common, which is great. But I mean, overall, there's no selfish guys on the team, and that's what makes it great. That's what makes the clubhouse so good. When young guys come in that are just getting called up, we want them to feel like it's a family, right? The game's hard as it is anyway. You're going to struggle. You're going to have success. So we want those guys to feel welcome and comfortable, just like they were in the minor leagues when they were tearing it up, so they can do the same up in the big leagues for us. Because we need every single guy to help us win. It's not singular guys helping us win. It's everybody. We all have to come as a group, and I think that's what our clubhouse is so good at. But going back to your point, the pitchers for starters, we probably see each other more than the relievers, just because we're kind of on different schedules during the day. And then obviously the relievers are in the bullpen during the game, and then the starters are in the dugout during the game. So, I think starting pitchers hang out a little bit more with starting pitchers than they do relievers, but obviously we all love each other, and once we're in the clubhouse and stuff, we all hang out with each other.
Yeah.
Aaron Nola with us here on WIP as we broadcast from Borgata. You know, Aaron, one of the great developments this year has been the development of Ranger, who obviously was a quality pitcher previously and outstanding in the postseason. But to do this from the start of the year, you know, you guys are almost the same age. You're 30, he's 28, but very different paths. I mean, you were a first-round draft pick. He was not. What's it been like for you over all these years to watch him now turn into, I mean, he too, right now, is one of the best pitchers in the National League.
He's an absolute stud. I mean, I've seen that guy since 2018, and I knew he was good right off the bat. I just think that they needed to let him go. They needed to let him pitch. He's got the stuff and the mentality. You can see how stressed out he gets on the mound all the time.
Right. Constantly neurotic up there.
It took me a second on that one. Yes, he is a cool customer, no doubt.
Oh, man. So I think what's really propelled him this year, obviously the guy knows how to pitch, but he's got, 5, 6 pitches he can throw both sides of the plate, and he gets ahead of you super quick. So once he does that, you're done, in my opinion. And then when you got guys on base, he always has an out to get out of the inning, right? He's number one, in my opinion, he's a sinker ball pitcher. He's a ground ball pitcher. So he's got that really good sinker. So at any time in the game, in any count, he can throw a sinker and get a ground ball for a double play or for one out if he needs to. But his mentality, I think, is number one. He never gets too up, never gets too down. Nothing ever bothers him. He can always slow the game down, and he works super quick. I think when he hits that complete game and then that 8 innings right after, I think both games are like 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It really is. I mean, it's been unbelievable this year. I mean, obviously he's got a legitimate shot at the Cy Young. Now, it's still on the somewhat early side, but he's been incredible. Aaron, one of the things that I think has really stood out in recent years, obviously, you guys as a team playing better ball, a fun brand of baseball, but also for years, even when the team wasn't as good, a tremendous commitment to the community. And not one, but 2 different initiatives here to highlight today, and credit to you and the Phillies for doing this. So let's start with your own charity. You announced earlier this week in conjunction with Citizens Financial Group and Phil Abundance a tremendous initiative, 2024 Fans Feeding Families campaign to strike out hunger. And I know a lot of listeners can get involved. There's a food drive where, Fans Feeding Families, there's going to be a game on Saturday, June 29th where, listeners, fans, have a ticket. You can bring non-perishable food, to the ballpark at the entrance to the gate, and direct donations can be made by texting Fans Feed. Again, texting Fans Feed to 44321. I mean, Aaron, can you talk to us about, what hopefully is maybe the middle part of your career, maybe not even quite, if you go like Scherzer and Verlander and those guys and pitching in your 40s, like to be doing this at this stage of your career, hats off to you, man, for your involvement, because this is a great cause and a very important cause.
Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, I don't know if I want to pitch into my 40s like those guys. Hats off to them. But I think especially when I signed here in 2019, that year I wanted to get involved more in the community because I knew I was going to be here for the next at least 4 years then. And then once I signed back this past year, I wanted to do a little bit more just because I know where I'm going to be at. So to me, baseball only lasts a certain amount of time. We're only a baseball player for a certain amount of time, and being able to help the community out as much as possible around Philadelphia, help people out, that lasts a lifetime. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's kind of where my wife's at now, too. So we enjoy it. We don't do it because we need to do it. We do it because we enjoy it. We like being around the people. We enjoy helping them out. But everybody needs help in some way. So I'm really glad we're able to get these things rolling and help out as many people as we can. And I look forward to keep doing it as long as my career is here.
Good for you, Aaron. Yeah, no, look, it's a great look. The reality is there are a lot of people that have enough food, And there are a lot of people that don't have enough food. And to help the people that don't have enough food, and again, it's such an important initiative and such an important cause, not only locally but around the world. And locally, you can get involved by texting FANS, and that's fans with a PH. Let me be clear, fans with a PH. Fans feed to 44321. You can make direct donations that way. Also on the game June 29th, bring a non-perishable item of food to the entrance of the gate, and of course food will be collected. And Aaron, that's one of two things going on right now because the fantastic auction rolls on. Now this goes through Sunday. So many different items that people listening or not listening can bid on, and one of them is really cool that involves you, where a listener can be an honorary member of the Phillies for a day and spend some time with you at the ballpark. It'll obviously be a home game. The person that gets this will actually get a one-day contract. So you'll literally sign a contract that Sam Fold, the general manager, will put in front of you, and you'll get a tour of Citizens Bank Park and get to meet Aaron and get to watch batting practice from the Phillies dugout and be on the field during the national anthem. I mean, Aaron, listen, John and I, and we've been around some cool stuff with our jobs. We are a little bit more used to it than others, but for most people, I mean, to be on the field, John, during the national anthem, to go hang with Aaron Nola at the ballpark on a game day?
Oh, my goodness.
Aaron, that's good stuff,
Standing
man.
room only crowd, the noise, everything, the pageantry. What a day.
Aaron, good job by you on this one as well. And by the way, this is for up to 6 people. Now, one person gets all the experiences, including the contract and on the field, but the other 5 will have a great time as well in the tour and the whole thing. I mean, Aaron, this is a super cool item.
Yeah, we love it. They'll get to see what we do during the day and see everything, right? I mean, obviously, we're super blessed to do what we do and be in the position we are and have unbelievable facilities around us and stuff that we get to play in every single day. So I'm looking forward to that too. And
not on a day that you pitch, though, right, Aaron? I mean, no way you're messing around on a day you pitch with that, right?
Probably not on the day, but I could probably make an exception, though.
There you go. Well, I'll say this. As someone who roots for you guys, I hope it's the day you're not pitching. That's my opinion. All right, Aaron, again, great stuff there. And for everyone listening, the website for that and for all the auction items, Phillies.com/fantastic auction. Once again, Phillies.com/fantastic auction. Aaron, one final thing here. I'm curious. I don't want to say greater effort. I don't think that would be fair to you guys the last couple years. But I am wondering if there is a different focus this year. After what you experienced the last 2 years, going as deep as you did, ultimately losing, deep in October, did the focus change to some extent? I don't know if it's a greater intensity or just a different intensity that you guys entered this season with and are trying to carry this whole year through.
I wouldn't say too much different. Obviously, it stung. Last year stung for us more than the year before. The D-backs, they played better than us in those last few games. And those are tough games, but obviously we've had 2 pretty good runs, and we want to get back there. For us, you never really know what can happen when you get to the postseason. You just got to get in, and I think us experiencing that. I'll go back. In 2022, we had a few guys that had come from trades, like Schwarber and a couple other guys that have been to the postseason and won a World Series, right? Mm-hmm. And had a few guys that were still in the system and Philly system that had never even made the postseason. And we had a lot of guys on that team that hadn't, that waited 7, 8 years, 9 years. Gene Segura won 10 years, hasn't even made the postseason.
Right.
I remember that.
Aaron, does it feel like this team has gotten better at refusing to lose by losing in the postseason the last 2 years?
I think so, yes.
I hope so. That's the way it looks to us.
Yeah, it does look that way.
I think, and then in 22, we all made the postseason, and we all had that experience. And then coming in this year, we all had the experience, and we know what it feels like. We know what it feels like to win in the playoffs. We know what it feels like to lose in the playoffs. So we all feel that. So there's nobody new that hasn't ever made the playoffs. So we know what the feel is and the experience is. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we took into this year.
Well, Aaron, congrats on what you guys have done so far. And by the way, for everyone listening, that item, the fantastic auction item involving Aaron, to $5,210. So tremendous job by the bidder on that, $5,210, and let's keep driving that up to obviously help the important people that the charity helps. Aaron, congrats on a terrific start, and we'll be following you all year. And thanks so much for carving out some time today, man. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on this morning.
You got it.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, there he is, Phillies pitcher Aaron Nola. Good stuff right there.